It's going back to the interview you done before Black Ops 3, and you're like, I'm going to put an unsolvable Easter egg.
Yeah. Easter eggs have become a fundamental part of Call of Duty Zombies, and without them, this mode could have become something totally different today. Starting off as an Easter egg itself, hidden behind the completion of the campaign, Call of Duty Zombies changed how the average player looked at games. Hey baby! Players now kept their eyes peeled wide open, trying to discover all the mysteries the developers had left behind. From ray guns hidden in the campaign, to full-fledged Easter eggs that unlock bows of mass destruction, to aid you in defeating hidden bosses that you could discover within the maps. These Easter eggs were a hidden way in which the designers could interact and reward their dedicated fans with extra lore and weaponry to enhance their experience. I mean, there were even Easter eggs that developers had added for their girlfriends that they didn't expect anyone to find. However, we did. But of course, you already know all of this. And you know that Jason had gone out of his way to create harder and harder Easter eggs and even ciphers for us to solve. And that's just it. We did. We solved them all. This was until Jason had enough of being Mr. Nice Guy.
I'm fed up now, and I'm going to really put one in that you guys can't break, and it'll be hidden in different arenas, and you won't get this one.
With the release of Black Ops 3, birthed the spawn of the impossible Easter egg.
And the person who kind of cracks them should send me their resume.
Over the years, people have hunted for this, and most of these searches have heavily focused on Shadows of Evil. However, this latest breakthrough has changed the direction of people's focus. Before we dive into that though, the main things that we know about this Easter egg we actually got from Jason himself.
I assume that everyone is going to take the code, take the Radiant, and take it apart. Which means anything that we could put in script, and anything I could put in with Radiant, I'm assuming you could just open it up and find it.
Yep.
So if you're seeing anything and it looks like it's engineered, you're probably off because you'd have already found that by now.
Okay. Interesting.
To me, as someone who has created maps, and I'm sure by you guys just by listening to what he said, know that nothing can be found via Radiant, Ape, and even the code. So there's nothing that can give us any hints on what we are missing. So maybe just like the old Easter eggs, this could be a torn apart image that is scattered around the map. Kinda like the Easter egg in Mob of the Dead, where Jason had an artist create a picture and another member of the team would scribble some text over it, and then this would be torn apart and scattered around the map. However, something like this had already been done, so could something like this really be the impossible egg? Well, no, I don't think so. Not fully anyway, as yes, this picture was found scattered around the map, and I do think it's very important and the key thing that we need to find this new Easter egg. Well, old Easter egg, but the new information about it. But currently looking at all the information that we currently have from the bits that Jason has given us from the interviews from all these YouTubers over the years, we know that Blundell states it's hidden across multiple arenas, which at first makes me think of Revelations. However, that was soon debunked, as sometime in 2016, Jason states in this interview with Mr. Dalek JD that some members of his community had gotten close to some things. So immediately this rules out it solely being on Revelations, as this map had not even been released by then. So one of the key things that we do know is that it can be on a mixture of maps up to the release of Zetsubou no Shima, but it can't be triggered by interacting with it via gameplay, leaving it to be a cipher or a secret message hidden within the maps of Black Ops 3. And we might have already kinda come across it, or even half solved it by now. Now the main point of this video, and I apologise for how long it's taken to get there, but that's the fact that SkyteInit has discovered what could be the next piece of the puzzle, in the shape of a hypercube, with a KN-44 inside the middle. Watching his video, I noticed he did some digging which involved messaging creators which actually worked on the game. He found out that the KN-44 had undertaken multiple name changes. However, the final change was due to a member of the Zombies team reaching out and requesting it. We know this due to the response he had from a creator from the multiplayer side of things. This is as far as the information goes though, which, in many of our opinions, knows that we're kinda in the right direction. And not forgetting the fact that during this interview he states here to not forget about this image, and he kinda says it in a casual way, which kinda shows me he's subtly giving us a massive clue.
There's a lot of weird KN-44 appearances.
Yes.
And I was wondering, is that anything that we need to look into, or is that just weird?
Feel free to look into it.
And SkyteInit has noticed this and clung on to the information, and I believe he's on the right track. This gun can be found in many maps as placeholders for random objects, and it can also be seen briefly in many cutscenes, held by the Civil Protector and also on Gobblegums, so it clearly has some significance to this game, and hopefully this Easter egg. I tried doing some research on this myself and I found a cool article on how a Tesseract is also known as a hypercube. That's a 4-dimensional cube. This led me to stumble across Milo's video the next day, where he mentioned about a magic hypercube, which is where I came across this image and this equation.
The Black Ops 3 Zombies impossible Easter egg has finally been solved. Or has it?
The common thing that came up when searching this and Pascal's triangle is the fact that K and N would appear loads. SkyInit, the creator who came up with the KN44 theory, didn't know what to do with this information, and like myself, we're no mathematicians. Though realising this maths was out of my realm, I reached out to my friend and asked him to try and solve this using the magic hypercube theory, replacing K and N to 4 and also to 44 and just to see what he came up with. And this is what he came up with, which I didn't really see any use for or anything like that. I doubt you guys can, but here we go. I then found what seems to be a maths paper on the Tesseract that I'll link below just in case you want to test yourself or try and learn a bit more about the 4th dimension. Not wanting to give up just yet, I came across another website for hypercubes in data mining. And I just found it kind of funny how the entire idea of this Easter egg is the fact that the data cannot be mined from the game and the player has to work for it. And then I go and find a website which explains how OLAP compatible hypercubes are created as a powerful tool for mining data. I wish I could use that to help me find out what the answer for this Easter egg was. I then found something for all you Rubik's Cube lovers, a 4th dimensional cube. That I shall link the installation video below if you wish to get your hands on it, because it's kind of crazy to see how this 4th dimension works, and you might want to try it out for yourself, just so you can learn a little bit more about the 4th dimension, and hopefully one day we might be able to solve this impossible Easter egg after all. Or like some dude said in Skype's Discord, what are the chances that none of this hypercube stuff is actually relevant at all, and everyone is just kind of psycho? Only time will tell. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you like Black Ops 3 and that's your sort of thing, then feel free to check out my Zombie Royale series, where I fight against my opponent, which is my friend Aquil, in every single zombie map as we determine who will become Zombie Champion. You guys have been amazing, where I've just been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. I hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever frickin' time it is. I hope you have a great one, and peace out. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end. I just wanted to shout out my brand new merch. Items such as cups, mouse mats, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and even a poster, cause why the hell not? There's even a top with a Rex wearing a little hat. Click the link down below and check it out for yourself. I've also set up a Patreon for those who are asking to support me in another way. Of course, don't feel like you have to, and have a great day.
The f*** was that?